Sandeep, they're facing internet issue. Let's wait for a couple of minutes more and we'll start, okay?
Sure. Let me know.
Yeah. Yeah, Pushkar, could you able to hear me, Pushkar?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Pushkar.
Yeah,
Can you please
Pushkar.
go your brief introduction, Pushkar?
Yeah, I've been into sales domain for 6 years, and I've been doing business consulting for my internal department. I am heading the production area also at times, and we're using our homegrown ERP. So we thought of going to SAP because my organization might go to SAP in near future.
Yeah.
So which
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Which homemade ARP you are using?
Internal, web-based.
That's a web-based. Okay. Great. Yeah. I think Afin is also joined. Hi. Afin. Can you hear me?
Afrin, can you unmute and talk? Can you please brief your introduction? Are you there, Afrin? I'll check Sandeep. Meanwhile, you can go ahead, okay? Yeah.
No issue. No issue. Hi, guys. Hope you are able to see my screen. Let me quickly introduce myself. Myself, Sandeep. I'm working in SAP environment since from last 14 years. I joined in 2007 SAP. Prior to that, I have 9 years of experience I'm having in my domain, where I did different functional activities. So altogether, I have 23 years of experience in my domain as well as SAP experience. As of now, in 2007, I did my certification and then I joined SAP world. Now, since from that time, I'm working in SAP. And currently, I'm managing delivery of some projects. That's the implementation as well as the support projects. So that's a quick introduction about myself. Oh, okay, fine. So let's start with SAP. What is the SAP basically? What is SAP? SAP. It's not a SAP, but it's a SAP. SAP means what? It's the name of the company. It's a German-based company, as well as it's the name of the software. System, applications, and product in data processing. See, the name itself will tell you what this software is doing. System, applications, and product in data processing. Means that we are apply this system and its product for data massaging to run the business, to run the organization, to run the day-to-day activity of the organization. That is called SAP. But SAP is known as ERP system. Is known as the ERP system. Now, what is ERP system? ERP is nothing but the enterprise resource planning. All of you know what is enterprise. Enterprise is nothing but the organization. Planning. Everybody is aware about the planning. We are doing the planning in our day-to-day life. To start from the home to reach to the house, we are start from the home to reach to the office. We are doing the planning. At what time should I start? At what time I will reach, considering all the hurdles in between. So that is nothing but my planning. I'm doing the planning of each and everything. Forget about organization. I'm doing the planning of my life also, my day-to-day activity also. Last part of this one remain, that is resources. What is resources? Enterprise understood, planning understood. What is resources? Resources are nothing but the things which you are having, which the organization is having. Here we will deal with the 4 resources, that is 4 M's. Man, that is manpower; machine, your machinery, equipments; material, that's your inventory; and the most important is money. So if you plan and use these resources properly, you will get the profit out of it. That is planning of these resources. Now you just take the example of money. Everybody is earning the money. How you spend your money? If you invest your money at some place, might be in infrastructure, might be in share market, might be in, if you deposit in the banks or some schemes, what it may be, you will get some profit. That means you are utilizing your resources properly. How you will utilize your resources? What is the information that you need to utilize your resources? The most important information is visibility. You should need the visibility. Many times we said one thing, oh, I was not aware, otherwise I could do it. It's my cup of tea. I can do it. But the only problem is that I was not aware. The same thing is happened in the organization. If your manager or the owner or the management, if they have the visibility of these resources, then they can do the proper planning, proper utilizations of these resources and get the profit out of it. See, reduction in the losses is also indirectly profit. If you are able to control your losses, that means you are earning the profit. You are reducing your losses. In organization, if you observe, then 60 to 70% of the money is involved into the material and machinery. And to run any business, they need money in hand. Unless you don't have the money in hand, it's not possible to run the business. So what we need to do the proper planning of this man's machinery, materials, and of course money. So this will give a 360-degree picture to the management, big picture. It will give the ERP will give the big picture. ERP will not do any planning for me. No ERP will do the planning. There are so many ERP available in markets, but they will not do the planning for me. What they will do? They will give me the big picture. They will give the 360-degree view to the management so that the management can take the decisions to take up their organization in the right direction. There are so many ERP systems: SAP, BAN, JD Edward, PeopleSoft, then Oracle, Tally. You might have heard about the Tally. Then your Salesforce. So all these are the ERP system available in market. But SAP is one of the big vendor in these ERP systems. One of the big vendor. It was started around 1972 by just 5 IBM engineers. Just 5 IBM engineers. What they did? They understand the standard business process across the globe. They understand the standard business process across the globe from the different organizations. I'm talking about standard, not adjustment. Yes, of course, there are some adjustment also in the processes. But if you find that in some of the organization, they are just doing some mixing of the process to save some money, to save some taxes, etc., etc. No, SAP supports all the standard operating processes. They learn the standard processes and they develop the software. They took almost 10 years to bring the first versions of the software in 1972. The name of the company I told you is SAP, System Application and Product and Data Processing. They are having more than 25 industry-specific solutions. What is industry-specific solutions? There is a separate business solutions for retail industry. There is a separate business solution for oil industries. There is separate business solution for the steel manufacturing processes, industries. So every industry, they will have their own processes. Even for the insurance sector, SAP is having its own software, its own solution. So like this, there are 25 industry-specific solutions that SAP has provided. The journey was started in 1972 with the two-layer system that is called R2. That is called R2. So R2 is nothing but the two-layer system where the user directly connected to the database and get the information. So all the users, they started connecting to the database, all the users. Ultimately, what happened? It turns like an uncontrolled junction. So what do you need? We need a traffic signal. So from this R2 system, two-layer system, SAP come up to the R3 system. So they introduce a new system called the application server. This application server started working like as a traffic police, working as a signal, first come, first preference basis. So all the users, instead of directly connecting to the database, they started connecting to the database via this application server. So the speed of the system get increased because the traffic is systematically controlled. In 2005, SAP come up with a next version that is called ECC, Enterprise Central Component. It's the name of the software, name of the version. We have like a window, Window 11, Window 10, Window 13. What is Window 11, 13? What is that number? It's a number, just version. In the same way, SAP come up with different versions. In 2015, SAP come up with a new version that is called HANA, S4HANA. HANA means High Performance Analytic Appliances. See, the name itself will tell you high performance. That means they try to increase the speed of the software. Because in this era, we need a speed. So they introduced in 2015 this S4HANA system. This is the type of the database they introduced. And they sponsored the World Cup, 2015 World Cup. You know, in the World Cup, all the analysis and everything that should be on the fly. No one will wait if the screen is just moving and moving. No, it should be on the fly. That is the batsman analysis, pitch analysis, match analysis, everything that you need on the fly. So they are able to achieve the speed at that level using the HANA database. What is HANA database basically? You are aware about this kind of the system. This is our traditional system, Cardo RDBMS database, where we have CPU, RAM, and disk. So whenever I put some command, it will go to the CPU, RAM, disk, again from the disk to RAM and RAM to CPU. Then I will get the necessary information. So SAP observed the delay in this process also. So what they did, they remove or they combine these two parts together, RAM and disk. They combine RAM and disk together. That is called in-memory platform. And it's a HANA. HANA is the type of the database. So where your RAM and hard disk work together. You know what is the hard disk capacity of SAP? It's in terabytes. It's not in GB. It's in terabytes. So you can understand at what is the speed they achieve in S4HANA. Of course, they come up with some new plug and play solutions also. They make some functional changes, some new process they introduce for the easiness of the business. They introduce the web-based application so that you can use SP or you can access SAP system on the URL, tablet, mobile phones, mobility applications. So all that things are provided by SAP in S4HANA version. Now, what is the difference between non-SAP system and SAP systems? I told you, these are so many ERP available in market. So what is the difference between them? See, this is a ERP system without SAP and this is the ERP system with SAP. Let us take one example. So your customer in non-SAP based ERP, when the customer came to the sales office and he will demand some material, will say, sir, do you have the material? Is this material? Your sales manager don't have the information because he's working in Salesforce module. We don't have the information that how much inventory we have. So what he will do, he will pick up the phone and call to the inventory manager. And that time only a lorry came to the warehouse. Inventory manager is busy. There might be some small accident happen. So inventory manager will reply, sir, can you please drop a mail to me? I will reply on the mail. Right now I'm busy. I need to check the inventory. I will get back to you. And you know how good we are in replying the mails. No, never. We never reply on the mail on time. If you observe, it's true. It's a fact. So what sales manager, what is the idea, information the sales manager is having? No, zero. So he can't give the answer to the customer. When and how much inventory we can supply to him. So ultimately what will happen? You will lose the customer. You will lose the customers means you will lose the profit. That's a loss to the organization. And you are losing the customer permanently because you have failed to serve the customer. Let's take the example of ERP system. If the same customer came to the ERP system, to the sales department will not go behind inventory manager. He will directly look into the database. It's a central database. He will directly check into the database how much inventory we have. And he will reply, sir, you are asking me 10 quantity. We have 6 quantity readily available with me. I can dispatch it tomorrow only. Just confirm. For remaining 4 quantity, give me some 1 or 2 days. I will get back to you. I need to check my production manager or procurement manager, inventory manager. We'll get back to you. See, the customer will happy here because he got the answer on time. He got the answer on time. You might be experienced in the organization also. If somebody reply on time or give you a proper input on time, you will become happy. So your customer is happy and you will get a business. Your finance person will not go behind the sales manager or purchase manager. Sir, what is the liability? How much is my receivable? How much money I will get from the customer? How much money I need to pay to my supplier? No, not necessary. He will directly look into the database and prepare the information report to the management. Even management can also directly look into the database. This is possible. This is possible because we have a common database for all these departments, all these modules, your inventory, purchase, finance, HR, your normally HR is kept separately because there is a salary and everything is there. Your production planning, quality management, warehouse management, all that modules, they will have a common database. If I'm having the common database, that means everyone can access. No, everyone can't access anything. It's a controlled system. Your sales manager can't check the price of the purchase. Your warehouse manager can't check the price. At what price I purchase the material? What is my balance sheet? What is the profit that we earn? No, it's not cup of tea. That is not his cup of tea. It's not required to check it. His requirement is just to check the production order, what is the purchase order, what is the sales order, that he can check. And there is a control into the system that you can see the purchase order without price. That is also possible. Up to that level, we can activate the access control into the system. So this is what about SAP ERP. So there are so many advantages. Then why SAP is not so popular everywhere? Why this homemade ERP systems is there, or why the small ERP systems are working? Because of the cost. It's a monopoly software. It's a monopoly software. Today's participant, I got the two answer that they saw there is a prospectus in this field. Yes, it's a blue chip environment. It's an evergreen environment. See, there are so many software comes into the market and gone. In last year, SAP complete 50 years in the market. It's enough mature software. Yes, but there are certain challenges in implementing the SAP. Difficulty into implementation. Why? Because all the customers, they are not using the standard process, and SAP follow the standard processes. That's why the customer found that, oh, it's very difficult to implement. Huge cost of maintenance, huge cost of implementations. That's some of the reason it is not popular into the small organization. But yes, any management will prefer to spend the money even though cheap softwares are available, because they will get a compact system, they will get a error-free system, they will get a system, foolproof system. In SAP, if you make any changes, it will be there, last long, till you format the server. Even if you put the dot in purchase order, system will capture that history. Yes, XYZ person put the dot, and now on this date and this time. You can ask him, why you put the dot there? Why you change the price? Why you create a purchase order with X price and then later you change it Y price? System keep the track of each and every changes maintained into the system, not only in purchase order, everywhere. Sales order, you can say purchase order, production order, everywhere. Quality management module, finance module, everywhere. Now, Lara was saying that I prefer module. And he says that MM is the best one. Yes, you are absolutely right. I will tell you one thing. SAP is like your tree. In the tree, what is the strongest part? Root. Root hold the whole tree. Same way, your finance module is a root of this SAP tree. Because without finance, no other module can work. No other module can work. So any company wanted to implement SAP, finance must be there. Without finance, they can't do anything. Second, STEM is your material management. Second module is material management. So that also very closely work with roots, very closely work with finance module. Can I sell the material without material management? No. Can I do the quality inspection without material management? No. Can I do the production planning without material management? No. That means, in nutshell, all the other modules, they are depends on MM module. So FICO is the same. If you are from the finance background, then you can go for FICO. If you are not from the finance background, then MM is the best module, second module. The rest other modules are nothing but the branches of the tree, because they are depends on the MM module. So that's like a tree. During this course of training, we will have these topics. I will just navigate through the topics. We'll have the introductions of SAP. I will tell you how to navigate, what is the roles of functional consultants. We'll have the overview of the business processes, MM business processes, basic accounting process, because we should, as I told you, we are working very closely to MM finance module. So we must have some finance knowledge also. No, we are not going to prepare any financial statement, but yes, at least basic things should be there. Then understanding of T codes, navigations, how we navigate into SAP. So many people, they are very new or fresh to SAP. Then organization structure, MM organization structure, FICO organization structure, what is company, what is plant, storage location, purchasing organization, then material management, material ledger, master data, material master, business partner, that is nothing but your vendor master, supplier master, source list, P2P procurement cycle for the material, how I am purchasing the material, how I procure the material. So requirement to the payment, the whole process we will see, that is under P2P, procure to pay. It's contain your requisition, quotation part, order for the stock material, consumable materials, contracts. Many times we have the contract with the suppliers, then scheduling agreements. Similar to the material, we need a services. There is a service procurement, P2P service procurement cycle. Service. I will purchase the service. What is meant by service? Somebody will come and perform the work for me. I want to cut the lawn of my garden. So I will hire the person. He will come and cut the lawn. That's a service I am getting. Then apart from this standard procurement, we have some special procurements. Why we call them special? Because they don't behave in normal way. They don't follow the steps of normal procurement. Your consignment process, pipeline procurement process, subcontracting, returnable transport packaging, project procurement, all these are the special procurement processes. Inventory management process, how your warehouse manager working, what is the role of the warehouse manager, what are the activity that he's performed, good receipts, goods issue, transfer posting, physical inventory process, he's counting the inventory regularly and checking with the books of accounts. In batch managed material, in the pharma industry, we have the batch managed material, in the paint industry, food industry, in a digital industry, it's a serial managed material, how they are managed into the warehouse. Sorry. Logistics invoice verification. Invoice verification, I'm not talking about payment. We will verify the invoice. Basically, it comes under the finance side, but yes, being the last phase of procurement cycle, we will see this one also. Here we compare the vendor's invoice with our system proposed values. And if it is matching, we will make the payment to the vendor. Then how the approval mechanism take place, how the pricing in the purchase order calculate, landed cost of the material. If you are going to purchase something, it is not what you pay to the supplier. It is the price at which the material came to your house, came to your premises. That is called the ordering price. Then valuations and accounting. This is the complete finance part, but yes, we will see this one. I will tell you the reason why we will have this flavor, finance flavor. Then your material requirement planning, MRP. You might have heard this one. But I don't have any experience. Or I was working in the procurement department. I was working in the warehouse. I don't know what the other departments are doing. There I will say I'm fresher. I don't have any exposure. How can I understand the process? Don't worry. Organization and your day-to-day life is same. What you are doing in your day-to-day life, just observe it carefully. The same way organization is perform the activity. You know what is the difference? We are not systematically doing the things. Organization is doing systematically. Today is 17. If I ask you how much money you spend in 17 days, the 1st of August to 17, how much money you spend? Can you answer? No. Very difficult. Even if you remember by just checking your bank statement, if I ask you what is the bifurcation of it, no, you can't tell me. Very difficult. But that is not the case in the organization. In organization, even if you spend a single rupee, single dollar, it has to be recorded. Single cent, single paisa, that has to be recorded into their books of account. All the transactions should be recorded. Planning. What is this planning? I will say, whosoever the lady at your home, your mother, wife, sister, whosoever it may be, she is the best planner. She is the best warehouse manager. And her warehouse is kitchen. If you ask her anything, she will tell you, even though she is not at home. She do the proper planning, what to bring, how much to bring, when to bring. She is doing the proper planning because she know how much is consumed, how much we required, how much she can store. That all knowledge she is having. Regarding this valuations, accountings, why we require this knowledge? In organization, whenever you deliver some process, everyone will accept the process except one person. And that one person is finance guy. He will ask you one question. Sir, what is the tentative accounting? And if that accounting is as per his requirement, then he will accept the solution. Otherwise, your solution will get rejected. Because organization is ready to compromise on the process, but not on the accounting side. So to answer that fellow, we must know the basic accounting. We must have the accounting knowledge. Basic accounting. I'm not talking about the expertise. Basic accounting. Otherwise, you explain the whole process, and at the end, if you say the, oh, sorry, accounting part, I'm not aware. My finance person can tell. You will lose the credit. You will lose the credit of your presentation. Because that is the most important question. And that question will decide whether the process will accept or rejected. What is this invoice verification process? whenever you get any bill, any invoice, I'm not talking about organization. Whenever you get an invoice, what you do? You first verify it. Yes, there are some people, they will directly take out the credit card or they will directly take out the cash and will make the payment without looking at the invoice. But yes, 60 to 70, I will say 80% people are like this. They will verify the invoice and they will make the payment. That is what the organization is also doing. That is called logistics invoice verification process. What is this pipeline procurement process? I am not aware. Electricity is coming to your house. Gas is coming to your house. Water supply is coming to your house. That is nothing but the pipeline procurement. RTP, returnable transport packaging. A gas, if you are bringing the gas in cylinders, nowadays everywhere the gas pipeline is there. But during the COVID period, we got oxygen cylinders. Can you bring the oxygen into polythene bags? No, not possible. It's required the container. It required that specific shape container. What you are purchasing? Are you purchasing the cylinder? No, you are purchasing only gas. But the cylinder is required to carry that gas. So it's a returnable material to the vendor, to the supplier. Services. I took the example of lawn cutting. So you require services. If you want to hire a taxi, that's a service. There is a security guard in your society, in your apartment. That's a service. Materials. All the grocery in your house is nothing but the materials. All the grocery. So what we'll do during these discussions of all topics, we will divide this topic into three parts. One, business engineering. What is the use? What is the purpose? Why we need this process? What is the benefit of this process? All that things we will understand first. We will compare that to our day-to-day life by taking some examples. Then second part of it, we will do the configuration into the system like a consultant. And then third part, like a business user, I will test it. I means we will test it together. Whatever we discuss, the same thing we configure, and whether it is working or not as per our discussion or requirement, that will verify. So every topic we will divide it with this three part and we'll perform the thing. See, SAP is not a logical system. It's not like your Python, C, C++, Java, like that. No. It's a business software. It's not a logical system. It's a process. And you know, when the process I say, you have to practice it. You have to practice it. Any process, you have to practice it so many times. Logic, yes, logic, that is up to you. You can understand the logic and then you can implement it. But the process, you need to practice it and then only you can implement it. SAP is the ocean. Can you say, I can learn SAP in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 1 year? No. Even after 14 years of experience, I will say, I know SAP 99.99%. I'm still, forget about that 0.01. I will say 99% only. 1% I'm keeping that because there are some processes which I never get exposure. That might be the 1%. But it's not rocket science because I know the basic. I know the basic. Just take the example of swimming. Once you know the swimming, You may not do the proper that different style, butterfly or backstroke or anything. You may just swim up to 100 meters, but yes, you will never sink because you know the basic concept. So it's just a matter of practice. So here we will focus on the basic concepts. There are a number of things that we need to learn. Yes, we will do it. But first of all, we'll focus on the basic things. Then sky is the limit for you. Okay, guys, that's it from my side. If you have any question, you can ask me. Arfin, can you talk? Just give your introduction, if possible. Pushkar?
No, I think since I'm using all those processes, it will be good to see how it goes in SAP. So I haven't used pipeline process.
Yeah. At so many places, the pipeline procurement process, the customer, they are not using.
A lot of
There's
a lot of requirement where we ask vendors to drop shipment to our client location. So I hope that will also happen.
Yes, that is third-party procurement.
Yeah.
Correct, third-party procurement. Where we ask our supplier to give the shipment to directly to our customer. It's a trading basically.
Yes.
Priya?
So once during this training, you will also give us some type of environment for project so that we come to know how actually it happens in when we go and implement SAP.
See, Pushkar, here, whatever the syllabus is designed or whatever the things that we will perform, the same thing we will do in your actual SAP implementation. The only difference is that here we will do in bits and pieces, there we will do in one go. That's it.
Okay.
Same thing. Yeah, Arvind, okay. Go ahead. Arvind, would like to say anything? You raise your hand. Can't hear. Okay. Pushkar, you asking me some question. What is the fourth M? The fourth M is money.
Okay.
Yeah, man, machine, material, and the most important is money.
Okay.
Arfin, you are not able to hear. You write something. No problem. You can. We can connect it again. Just connect with Naveen. We can. If you are able to connect us properly, we'll discuss it again. Priya, any query?
Hi, no query from my end.
Okay, great. Lorenzo, are you good?
Yes, everything okay.
Great. Pallavi?
I think as of now, so far, it's the introduction, so it's clear.
Yeah. Yeah, it's introduction only.
Yeah.
Yeah. Priya, you are not given your introduction. Give me just quick introduction.
Hi, so my name is Priya and I'm working in Sun Pharma as a Japanese translator and I live in Delhi with my parents. Thanks.
Okay, fine. Naveen, Arfin not able to hear us properly. So if possible, let's arrange a separate separate call with her.
She's raising the hand, but we can't hear her actually.
Yeah, she wrote some message also.
Yes, yes. I'll check with her. I'll share the video to her. Okay.
No problem.
If any queries, okay, we'll plan it again. Yeah.
Yeah. If she wanted to speak, just give me the call. We'll have the word with her. Yeah, I'm done from my side.
Okay. Thank
Naveen,
you.
over to you. Thank you, guys.
Any other queries, guys, or shall we wind up for the day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing from my side.
Oh,
We can.
done. Okay. Mostly
Thank
we'll
you
try
very
to
much.
start from tomorrow. I'll just give a confirmation once again. Okay.
Sure.
Thanks, everyone. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Naveen, please check with Arfin.
Sure. I'm just checking. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. And it is there. Okay, fine. Okay, hi, guys. So we already have a discussion and introduction about the SAP basics that we discussed in the first session. What is the SAP basics? What is it mean by ERP? What are the benefits of ERP? And what is the different vendors available in market for ERP systems? What is the advantage of the non-SAP ERP system and SAP ERP system? So all that things we already discussed in the first session. SAP was introduced into are founded by 5 IBM engineers and in 1972. And the name of the company is SAP, as well as the name of the software is also SAP, that is System Application Product and Database Data Processing. So we are going to see latest versions of SAP that is called the HANA, S4HANA, that is High Performance Analytic Appliances. So this is what introduction that we have seen in the previous section. So now we'll just go with the business process. What are the business process that we have? And then we'll see some short discussion, or we can say session on the basics of finance, and then we'll start our core SAP. So first we'll discuss the process that which are available under the material management module. So it's just an overview of all the processes which we are going to see later on in our during the course of training. Now, what is the data required for SAP? SAP requires some masters. So what is the masters? Basically, SAP material management is divided into 3 parts, and one more part, that is the master data. One is master data, which is common for material management, as well as some other module are also using it. Then purchasing, that's a procurement part. Inventory management, warehouse activity, and the planning part, material resource planning. That's we call as a MRP, material requirement planning also. So these are the basically 4 parts that we are having in material management. So what is master data basically? What do you mean by master data? So master data is nothing but and static informations about the product, about the vendors, about the customers, about the bank, about the, you can say, payment details, your payment terms. So all these are the masters which are statically available into the system, and we are using that master to create our transactions. What is master? I don't understand. Now, nowadays we are going to malls. What it may be? It might be a D-Mart, or it might be an other marts. So if you are going to marts, any mart or any mall, departmental store, I will say departmental store. Let us take, we'll not go into the big mall. We'll go into the small departmental store, which is in nearby to your area where you are staying. So that departmental store is serving to all the people, those who are staying into that area. So they are giving the home deliveries and everything. That facilities also they are providing. Now, when you go and buy some material, Assume that you buy a materials of just a few dollars, few rupees, whatever the currency that we are using, okay, as per your country origin. So if you are buy of materials of few dollars or few rupees, when you come to counter, that fellow will ask you, sir, can you give me your mobile number, please? Then you will tell her mobile number. Oh, it is not there. Can you tell me your email ID? She will search it. It will not there. Can you tell me your house number, society number, your block number, street numbers, or your name? She will try to search you in her system as a customer. As a customer. And lastly, that person will say, oh, sir, are you coming first time to our shop? Because she don't find the data you in her database. So even though you buy a materials of few dollars, she will maintain your records into her system. She will spend some 5 minutes to maintain your records in her system. She will write your name, address, email ID, your mobile number, everything. Contact number, everything she will maintain. Even if you buy a material of small amount. Why? Because she is looking you as a future customer, prospectus customer.
Sandeep, sorry to interrupt. Are you sharing the screen or no?
No, I have not started sharing. Okay. I will share.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So, even though you buy a material of small amount, so she will maintain you as a customer in her system because you are a future customer for her. Today you buy a materials of few dollars, but tomorrow you may buy a whole grocery, a complete grocery required for your 1 month, and you may demand the home delivery. If you demand the home delivery, that time she will not enter your address and all that things. She will keep it updated. Now, when you come to counter, she will just pick up the material and which she will put in front of the scanning gun or scanner. It will read the barcode and immediately the information will populate on the screen. So it will read the barcode means what? What it reading? It reading the master of that material which you are buying. So she will get everything. What is that material? What are the specifications of that material? And what is the rate of that material? That everything will populate on her screen. She will just select the quantity, or even if you see scan number of times, the number of quantity will get captured automatically. Depends on system to system. So that is again an master. So even though there is a huge or number of people they are in the queue, she can take a few minutes to handle each customer. Because simply she will enter your mobile number, she will get all your information. Simply she will scan the barcode of that article or that material, she will get the product information. And her invoice will be ready immediately. Without spending more time, her invoice will be ready. Now, what is the benefit of this one? She is spending less time. She is spending less time for each customer. Secondly, if suppose every time she try to enter your address, being a human being, there is always typo. There is always mistakes, chances of mistake. So you may type something different. You may heard a mobile number different, Or many people, they have the number jumbling problem. If you 69, they will type 96. They will just reverse the number. This is happening with many people. So if such kind of the mistake she did, then the delivery will go to the wrong house, wrong destination. Again, you will get upset that, oh, I'm not getting the delivery. Even after 30, 40 minutes, I'm not getting the delivery. So you'll go to the shop again. You will say, sorry, sir, by mistake, we write your wrong address or wrong mobile number. We cannot contact you. So chances of mistake. If you type the information every time, there will be the chances of mistake. So if you are a regular customer, I think that's why I took the small departmental store which is in your area. So assuming that you are a regular customer for them. So every time when you will go, she will not type your all details. She will simply take your mobile number, email ID, and she will retrieve the information. She will scan the article, she will retrieve the information, your invoice will be released. In the same way, in SAP also, we are creating the masters. That's material master, vendor masters, customer master, service masters, even the bank master also. For making the payment to vendor, we will maintain the bank. What is there in the bank master? We have the bank name, bank address, IFSC code or SWIFT code. So these are the different information that we can capture into the master. So every time we do not require to key in. That save your time as well as that avoid the mistakes. This is the benefit of having the masters into the systems. So the very first we will see a masters. Then we'll go for the transactions. Will not see all the masters together. We'll see the only those masters which will require immediately for the procurement of materials. Okay, now I will go to the next slide. This is my P2P procurement cycle. P2P procurement cycle. It's nothing but the procure to pay. Hope my screen is visible. Anyone can confirm, please?
It's visible.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so basic process, that is procure to pay. Procure to pay. That means the process will start with the requirement. That's a procurement. We'll start with the procurement and end with the payment to the vendor. Now, if you remember in the last week's session, introductory session, I told you that our day-to-day life activity and organization remain same. The only difference is that they are systematic, we are not systematic. I told you, if you ask me how much money I spent yesterday, it's very difficult to recall me. Because being a human being, we forget 72% in 24 hours. Organization will not follow such kind of the methodology. They will have a record of each and every money. Even though you spend in dollars, even though you spend in rupees, ₹1, $1, what it may be, they will keep the record of it. They will write into the books. Books are called as accounting books. Books are called as accounting books. Okay, I forget to tell you. It's a humble request, please have one notebook and pen with you. Whenever I will say this is important, please note down into that one. In between, I will say this is the interview question. Please note down that interview question. Forget about the answer. Answer you can find out later on, but at least have a question bank ready with you. At the end of the training, if you ask me, give me the list of the question, it will be very difficult because when we'll talk about that process, immediately the question came in my mind. So please record it. If you heard a new word, then please record it. Okay? it should be on your notebook, and keep the same notebook for every session. Sessions will be interactive. I will ask the question in between also. I will ask your opinion also. I will ask your suggestion also. I will ask you the question also. Okay. So please answer. Even though you don't hesitate that, oh, I may get wrong. No, we are all in the same boat. Don't worry. Even if you are wrong, please try to answer the question. Okay, fine. So what I was telling you, our day-to-day life and organizations are not different. The only thing is that they are systematic. We are not systematic. We are not keeping the record of anything, particularly money. We are not keeping the record. How much I spend, how much I earn, where I spend, on which head, that is for which I spend the money, so that you can control your spendings. You can control your spendings later on if you get the visibility. And this is what your ERP system will do. ERP system will do the visibility. In my department, so many people they are traveling. So one fine day, management will take out the report of travel account book. The account book which is designated for the travel expenses, they will take it out the report of the travel account book. You say, oh, this much money we spent on travel. Then the next question will come, who is traveling? The very first, this much money we spend. Second question will come, who is traveling? Then they drill down that report to department wise. They will identify which department is traveling more. Once it comes to department, they can ask the department head, why the people are traveling? Is it really necessary? Can we avoid it? There is huge expenditure. So this way they can control your expenditure. If you start writing your expenditure also, definitely you can control in the next month. Oh, this is the unnecessary expenditure I did. I can control it. Anyway, that's a detailed perspective. Secondly, on weekends, we just take out our car and we go to mall and we take a trolley and we buy the material. Oh, this is buy one, get one free. Oh, take it out. Oh, there is a huge discount. Take it out. See, no one is doing the business in loss. From your perspective, unnecessarily you are spending the money to buy that material. Did you really check that you required it? Did you really check your requirement? No. We are buying it. It's happened with everyone. That means without knowing the requirement, we initiate the procurement. We buy it and then we dump into the cupboard, and then after 1 or 2 years, we say, oh, these are the clothes I bought, we were never wear. Now they are not fit to me. It's happened with everyone. So my procurement, my purchase, procurement means purchase. My purchase should be initiated with a requirement. We doing it like this. Oh, today is Saturday, so it's a holiday. Let's go to market and buy Apple phone. No, we are not doing it like this. So let's go to the jewelry shop and buy some jewelry. No, we plan it. We really check there is a requirement or not. If there is a requirement, if we really need it, then only we go and buy it. But in the small or the cheap materials, I would say, where the value is not that much big, we just keep on buying. We just keep on buying without thinking. So in the organization, the requirement will, first step of my P2P procurement is requirement. Determinations of the requirement. So somebody has to say that I want the material. then only the process will start. Who will say? Who will say, I want material? The person who is working on the shop floor means production floor, production department. He will raise the requirement that I need a material. He will say that I need a material. And immediately the material will be available for him. No. No. Even if in your house, if you demand something, that will not bring immediately. First, you need to take the approval. Approval from whom? HOD. Mama. First, we take the approval from Mama. If Mama agree, then definitely we'll get that material. Whatever it may be, whatever you are demanding. So in the same way, in the organization also, your HOD has to approve the requirement, head of the department, then only the procurement will initiate it. So why the approval required from the head of the department? Because if tomorrow that material is not used by anyone, it is just lying into the warehouse, management will question. If you don't need, then why you purchase the material? You say, sir, we are not purchased. They demand, that's why we purchase it. Who demand? Production department. Call production departmental head. He is the responsible person because he is demanding the material. So it is his responsibility to check what you are demanding, how much you are demanding, and when you are expecting to get the delivery. So what, how much, and when. These three things are very important for departmental head. He will verify them and then only he will approve the requirement. Once he approves the requirement will go to the procurement department. So after approval, that will go to the procurement department. What the procurement department will do? Procurement department will initiate the procurement. Initiate. I will say initiate. They will not purchase the material. They will initiate the procurement. You need a laptop. You want to buy a laptop. So what you do? So you will go to market, some shop, and you will go to some electronic shop, some showroom, and you will ask them, oh, I'm looking for some, this is the configurations of laptop. I'm looking for this kind of the laptop. You will say, yes, sir. This is the piece which will suit you. And we are giving a very good offer on this material. A very nice bag, laptop bag that we are offering. Sir, what about softwares? Oh, that will be the pirated one. Okay, fine. This will be the price. You will take that all the information from him and you will go to the next shop. You will go to the next shop. Again, you will spell out your requirement and it will show you the laptop and will give the offer that, sir, we are offering an optical mouse, wireless optical mouse. What about softwares? They are pirated. This will be the price. Go to the next shop. You will say, sir, this is the piece. All softwares are licensed version. You will say, what about the bags and mouse are you giving? No, sir, sorry. We are giving the licensed version software, no bags, no mouse. Then you will come to home. You will put all the offers on your desk, and then you will decide to whom should I give the order. Should I give the order? That is called the vendor selection process. Source of determination first, who is supplying the material, then vendor selection process. We'll identify which one is the best vendor. Which one is the best vendor? I'm not saying which one is the cheapest vendor. The vendor who will give you and favorable terms condition will be an best vendor for you. Favorable terms condition. What is the meaning of this one? I'm not saying the cheapest price. First vendor is offering me a laptop at a very cheapest rate. But he was not giving me a license version softwares. For a laptop, bag and mouse are not important. What is important? Softwares are important. So even though the third vendor is not offering you a bags and laptops, and his price might be a little bit higher than the previous one, you will prefer the third vendor. Because for the laptop, software is important. And he is offering a lifetime license software to you. So you will prefer that vendor. You will give the order to that vendor. So that is called vendor selection process. That means it is not the cheapest vendor, it is the best vendor who will give a favorable terms condition. When you give the when you search the vendor in the market, few vendors say, "Sir, we want advance. We want advance." First vendor will say, "I want 100% advance." Second vendor will say, "I want 50% advance." Third vendor says, "Sir, you can give me the material after delivery. You can give me the payment after delivery." Fourth vendor will say, "Sir, you can make me the payment after 20 days after delivery date." That means he's giving me the credit of 20 days to make the payment. I told you in the last session that for any business, what is important? Money. So if you are giving the advance, then you will not have the money in your hand. So monies are also important. So in that case, you might prefer the last vendor who is giving the 20 days credit. So that's the reason we select the vendor which is giving a favorable terms condition. Then next we'll give the order to the vendor. That's called the purchase order. Purchase order, contract, depends. That we'll see in detail later. So we'll give him the purchase order. Purchase order is a legal document. These two are not legal document. My vendor selection, requirement document, vendor selection, these are not legal process. I go and different shops and I will just take an inquiry of the material. It's not compulsory that for me to buy it. I will just a market survey. I will just do the market survey. Once you give the order to the vendor, that is mandatory to buy the material from him. It's illegal. Vendor can pull you into the court against that order if you refuse to accept the material or if you refuse to pay him. So it's a legal document. between the legal agreement, you can say, between you and the vendor. He is bound to supply the material, you are bound to pay the price of that material to him. Once the purchase order given to the vendor, in a big organization, there is a separate team sitting that is called the monitoring. Their job is just to monitor. They will just monitor. They will follow up with the vendor. They will pick up the call and the phone and they will call the vendor, sir. Hope everything is fine and we'll get the delivery on so and so date. Why? Because their production is also depend on his delivery. Their delivery to their customer is depends on the production and production is depend on the vendor's delivery. So that's mandatory to follow up with the vendor to ensure that the delivery on time. Now, once the order is given to the vendor will start preparing the material and he will supply the material to you. Supply the material to you. But before sending the delivery, he will send an intimation. That intimation called as a ASN. ASN. What do you mean by ASN? ASN means Advanced Shipping Note. Advanced Shipping Note. He will send you ASN, Advanced Shipping Note. Note down, because this is not SAP word. Advanced Shipping Note. Order on your e-commerce site. On any e-commerce site, if you order the material, he will message you in the morning on the day of delivery that your article is out for delivery and tentatively will be delivered between so and so time. They are sending the message. The message is free. No, it's not. It's information to the customer that we are trying to attempt your delivery between so and so time. Please be available at home, else our effort will gone waste. Please be available to take the delivery or make a necessary arrangement so that we can deliver it to your neighbors, or you can deliver it to your doorstep, you can deliver it to your security guard, or where it may be. Same way, when the vendor sent the lorry and it was 5th August or Thanksgiving Day, warehouse is closed, national holiday. A vehicle will come and stand there. No one is there to receive the material. Everyone will come on next day. Vendor will say, sir, I came on so and so date as per the schedule. No one was there. I was waiting for 24 hours. These are my waiting charge, damage charges. Necessary because you have not planned it properly. If you plan it properly, you do not require to wait. Vendor or transporter will not charge you. Even though the warehouse is open, if suppose no man is there to receive the material, what's the problem? What is the use? If the machinery is not available to take out the material from the lorry, cranes and everything. Again, the problem is there. So once the vendor will send the ASN to the organization, it will be forwarded to the warehouse manager. Warehouse manager will be ready with man and machinery to receive the material. To receive that material. Once the material will deliver, what the warehouse manager will do? He will take that material into his custody and will start verifying it. That is called the quality inspection. He will do the quality inspection. Are we doing the quality inspection of each and every material? That depends on organization. How my organization want? If they say that, yes, we'll do the quality inspections of each and every material, we'll do it. But normally, even your house also, if your delivery boy bring the grocery, you verifying each and every item? No. Some of the item you will just check the label. Okay, fine. This is what I order. This is what I order. Fine, fine. But if it is and cookies, editable items, so you will check the wrapper properly. You will check the expiry date. Go in detail. In the same way, they will do the visual inspections for the certain material and they will do the detailed inspections of the certain material. That depends upon how the organization design their quality. So accordingly, they will do the quality inspection. After the quality inspection, suppose certain material is rejected by the warehouse manager, that will be sent back to the vendor. So vendor lorry will come again and pick up the material and will go. No, that doesn't work. Because that requires the transportation charge. You will inform the vendor that, sir, your XYZ quantity is not up to the mark. You will say, okay, sir, fine, I will send the person verify. His person will come, he will verify. Or sometimes it happens that the vendor delivered a wrong product. You are expecting the product of some ABC specification and he delivered the product of PQR specification. You will return that. He will say, okay, sir, fine, I'm sending your correct product or another quantity to you. And in the same lorry, I will take it this material. So just keep it aside. After the verifications of the material, your warehouse manager will give all the documents, hand over all the documents to the finance team. Finance team will do the invoice verification. We took the example, if you remember. We went to hotel, restaurant. You take some meal there. When you got a invoice, what do? You verify it first. You will at least have a look of that invoice. How much I order? Does he charge only that much item or he charging some extra things? So he will charge, you will check it. Common people, they will check the rates and everything and the quantity, you do the multiplication plus taxation and okay, this is the final fine. That is called invoice verification. This is nothing but the verifications of the vendor invoice with my calculation. What is your calculation? Rate from the purchase order, quantity from the good receipt document equal to the invoice value. the example of last time, milkman, Lawrence, just you forget this example. That might not be applicable to you. But milkman, he is delivering the milk regularly to you. At the end of the month, he will deliver the invoice. He will give the invoice. You will verify how much delivery he has given, what is the rate, and for how much he is asking me. That much will pay. That is called the invoice verification. And after invoice verification process, this is the payment. That is the payment to the vendor. So this is the thin line between MM and the finance, invoice verification. Up to this invoice verification, it is material management, and later on it is the finance. This is called my P2P procurement cycle for the material. If you have any query in your mind, please unmute yourself and ask the question. Don't wait for the end. Okay? Yeah. So this is my P2P for the material. So the same thing what we discussed is written here. We require the material as well as services. Kind of the services. We have the maid in our house. We require a security guard. We require a transportation service. We require a consultant. We might hire a tax consultant. We might hire a maintenance person. So all these people, they will come and will perform the work for you. You might require a gardener. You might require a person to cut your lawn, because that work is done by some expert person. So that is called the services. That is called the services. So the first P2P cycle that we have seen for the material. Now this is the P2P cycle for the services. So we'll buy the services from the person who is providing that service. We'll make the payment for whatever the service they have provided to us. So the process here also initiated with a requirement. Unless you will not identify that, oh, our lawn need to cut now. We require some gardening work. We require a maid at her home. We require a security guard. Okay, we are on the weekend, we are trying to, we are planning to travel. But our car is not sufficient. So we will hire a big mini bus, something like that. I will call the transporter. Okay, who will cut the lawn? Who is the expert? So once the requirement is generated, next part is vendor selection. So we'll do the vendor selection. I will identify who is supplying the bus for me for transportation. I will check the rates and everything with them. I will check the gardeners, will check the rate with him, terms, conditions. Then I will order him. So once my vendor got selected, finally I will give the order. That is called purchase order. We'll order him that please come tomorrow and perform the duties, perform the work. Now here there is a difference between material and services. This is the difference part. In material, we are receiving something. But in services, we are not receiving anything. A security guard will come, he will sit in his designated location and he will went in the morning. Or once his duty time over, he will went. So, what he is providing to you? Security. What you are receiving? Security. Can you show? How can I show security? Yesterday that fellow came and he performed his duty. Can you show me today? No. I can't show you. A person came and cut the lawn. Can you show me after 6 months? No. Not possible. It is not possible. I can't show you. Because services are temporary in nature and cannot be stored. This is very important. Note down. Services are temporary in nature and cannot be stored. Can you store the service? I want a person to cut the lawn, but not today, after 1 week of time. So I will buy the service, will keep into my store and will use it later on. No, it doesn't work. You need to call that fellow when you need a service. You need to call a transporter's vehicle when you want to travel. The vehicle will not be there in front of your house 24/7, 365 days. No. Whenever you need the vehicle, that time only you will call him. So services cannot be stored. Services are temporary in nature. You cannot prove them later on. You cannot prove them. That is the reason services must be recorded. Services must be recorded because you cannot prove them later on. That is called the entry sheet, logbook. So we will record the services. Whenever you went to your office, you are swiping your card, or there might be the biometric attendance. What is the purpose of that attendance? It is recording that you came to office and performed the services, perform the work for the organization, so that the organization will make the payment to you. If you don't go to the office, they will not make the payment. I'm not talking about leaves. They will say, no, you don't come to the office, you will not get the payment. So they are recording your services in the terms of attendance. And somebody will verify that whether your attendance is properly recorded or not. Suppose, assume that it's not a digital attendance. So somebody will, or you are signing the records, you are signing the notebook, and a department representative, he will verify that notebook at the end. The end, they will verify it, whether really you came to office or not. They will make a counter signature. Made a counter signature. Counter signature. They will make a 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 counter signature. They will make That is called the recording of services, and somebody will verify it. Somebody will verify it. So, because you cannot prove them later on, that's why the verifications is necessary. And in organization, that person is nothing but the departmental head. Your departmental head will verify it, and then only the payment will be made to the vendor. Then the vendor will submit the invoice that I have performed the services for so many days, so many hours, so many months. Accordingly, our account department will verify it, and then they will make the payment. So this is P2P cycle for the procurement of the services. The only difference, in case of my material, I have good receipt here. I am receiving something. Today I buy a mobile phone. I can show you after 2-3 years. Even though that is not in working condition, but I will show you. Yes, I brought it 2 years before. Now it is damaged, but fine. I brought it. But you cannot say that after 6 months, person came and we cut the law. No. Services which you are buying are again two types. One is the planned services, second is the unplanned services. What is the planned service? The one which I know at the time of purchase itself is called the planned service. And the another which I don't know at the time of purchase is called the unplanned service. Example. See, you decided to go for your medical checkup. So you connect to your hospital and you check what is the schemes or how much is the charges medical checkup. So you found or you select some package which contains some 20 different kinds of the test along with the medical consultation. So you know that if I buy this package of some XYZ piece or dollar, I will get these 20 services. That means they will perform some 20 tests on me, and in the evening I will consult to physician. My test will complete. My medical checkup will complete. This is what is the plan. So you buy that package. So in your back of the mind, that you will say that, oh, I will get 20 services. So you went into the different services, you do the bloods, you perform the stress test on the treadmill, blah, blah, blah. And in the evening, you went to doctor, consult your doctor. Your doctor will say, sir, your stress test is positive. Then I'm suggesting you to go for angiography. I'm suggesting you to go for angiography. Was that planned? No, it was not planned. It suddenly came while performing the planned services. When they test my stress test on the treadmill, that time they realized that I should go for the angiography also. This is called the unplanned services. called the unplanned services. So while performing the planned services, you might come up or come across some work which is mandatory to perform it to complete the services. Now, if suppose I don't go for the angiography, then my medical checkup is not completed. I can't say that I am fit and fine. I did my checkup and now I am okay. No, you did incomplete checkup. So I have to go for the last extra test, angiography. After that, only the doctor will conclude that whether I have the problems or I am okay. So then only my test will get completed. So these are the two. In organization also, whenever I will, suppose I have given a contract, I given an order to a maintenance of my some machinery. So the person, it's a regular checkup. So he will come up and he will do the regular maintenance and he will suddenly say, sir, this part is damaged. I am suggesting to replace it to improve the performance. But for that purpose, I need to open the engine part or some any part, what it may be. So that's the extra charges. It's called the unplanned services. So many things are happened. If you call the SAP consultant from the SAP organization, they will charge you per hour basis. Per hour basis. It's a huge charge. Okay, so these are the planned services, unplanned services in case of the service procurements. So these are these two standard procurement processes which we normally adopted everywhere. Standard procurement process, material and service. Why we call the standard one? Because we order, we get, there is a requirement, we order, we get the material, we verify it, we make the payment, and process is over. Was the vendor who supplied the material, did he ever ask you what you did with that material? No. He never asked you. He will not ask you what you did with that material. That is not his cup of tea, or it is not his responsibility, or you can say it's not his job. It's my material, I buy it. Who are you to ask me? Don't ask me. I will decide what to do with that material. That's why it's called the standard procurement process. It's called the standard procurement process. But there are certain processes which does not follow the standard path. That is called the special procurement process. We call them as a special procurement process. Why we call them as special? Because they don't follow the standard path. That's the reason. We call them as a special procurement process. It's a procurement process. But the methodology is different for this process. Transfer, subcontracting, vendor consignment, third party, pipeline procurement process, project procurement process. So these are the different processes which we adapt or we perform them in different way rather than following the standard way. That is called my special procurement process. Okay. Any query, any doubts, any question?
Sandeep, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, how many types of total procurement cycles are there? Are there two standard that you mentioned, or we consider these as well?
See, there are two types of the cycles.
Okay.
One is the standard procurement cycle, and second is the special procurement cycle. Standard procurement cycle follow this methodology. These are the steps in the standard procurement cycle. In the special procurement cycle, we may not follow the exact steps. Some steps we will skip, some steps we'll perform at later point of time, something like that. Or some steps are not at all applicable. So basically, there are only two types of procurement. One is the standard procurement, second is the special procurement. Clear?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Even
Yeah,
your services is, yeah, go ahead.
sorry, I have one question. If you go back to the first slide where you showed about the direct procurement process. So here about the ASN. So just wanted, ASN is received before the goods receipt, right?
Correct. It's intimation.
Yeah. So in the diagram, ideally it should be before the goods receipt, right?
That's why I didn't put it here because it's not part of your recipe.
Okay.
SAP don't require any ASN.
But as part of the
It's a
ASN.
part of the business process.
Yeah.
Normally, all vendor, that's why I take the example of e-commerce site. E-commerce site sends a message to you that your article is out for delivery. Did you get the message from Amazon? Why? We get the messages like that. Because that's the reason they wanted to make they ensure that you are available at home. It's an intimation. Yes, there is a process on the sales side which is similar to ASN. We'll tell you at the time of inventory management. We call that is the inbound delivery.
Yeah.
It is very similar to ASN, but not exactly ASN. Okay, ASN is the intimation basically. Advanced shipping notification. Inbound delivery is something that my premises is very big one. And the lorry came inside my premises, and at the gate itself, my security guard verify what is there in the lorry, against what purchase order he bring the material, how much material he bring. He is not verifying the quality and everything. But at the security level, what they are checking, how much articles you bring, how much boxes are there, what is the reference of purchase order. Do you really have the purchase order from our organization? Show me the copy. So he will enter some transaction into the system that is called inbound delivery. That came under BL31N. That's in the sales side. So he'll enter that document at the entry gate of my premises. Now a lorry came to my warehouse. Now warehouse manager will take the receipt against that inbound delivery. So whatever the verified by my security guard, I will just receive that one.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
But that is not mandatory. Directly, I can without reference to purchase order. My premise is a very small one. I don't require a security guard that he will do the entry into the SAP system. No, not required at all. I will give one example. I was working in one of the steel industry. So they have a very big premises for the steel. So whenever the lorry came, now the lorry was continuously moving to take that steel rolls, steel plates. They buy some material, raw material, iron ores came, and they take out the steel rolls and the plates outside. So vehicles are continuously coming. So we implement this inbound delivery option at the gate entry as a gate entry, so that the security person also enter into the SAP that inbound delivery against the purchase order. Because when the lorry came into the premises, it takes a day also to reach to the warehouse because of the queue and everything. And there they install the what do you call that, tracking system. We call that is a truck tracking system. So whenever there is a congestion happens at any point of time, then immediately sirens blow and everything, so that the security comes and they sort the issues. So it is basically for the big premises. In the small premises, not required. Clear? Lawrence, any query? Or is fine for you? If you have any question, please ask.
Everything is okay.
Your voice is cracking, but I understood that everything is okay. And guys, don't shy that, oh, how can I ask the silly question? No worry. Just ask the question if you had anything, whatever you had in your mind. Okay, don't hesitate. Okay, so we'll stop it here. Tomorrow at sharp 8 o'clock we'll start. 8 p.m. IST. Today I had to went to office, so I got late. Fine?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night. Good day.
Thank you.